guys, I'm Lindsey, Girl Gone Glamping, and a year ago we filmed a tour of my rig for Tiny Home Tours YouTube channel. The video went viral. 5.2 million of you guys have watched it, making it the most viewed tour ever on their YouTube channel. Absolutely humbled, honored, blown away. You guys are amazing. So today we just want to go over what's changed in the rig in the last year, what's changed in my life, and make mention of a couple things that I forgot to mention a year ago in the tour. So I'm gonna watch my tour now and give it a whirl. Hi, I'm Lindsey, and this is my Overland Explorer X10 flatbed camper. I've been traveling solo for 4.5 years and in this rig for 2 years. So come on inside while I show you around. So as you walk into the left, this is my kitchen area. This is actually a diesel cooktop, and it doubles as a furnace when the lid is down. It actually comes from the marine world, very common on a lot of boats. That's all still true. However, I do plan on swapping that out for an induction stove. I have the battery bank for it, and I just think it would be easier to use every day. So that's coming up, future changes. But I'm a big fan of the exterior of this as well. It's really easy to wipe down and clean. It's lightweight. There's not a lot of wood in the camper. There's actually no wood in the camper besides the shelves and tabletop and things that I put in. It is a complete total composite camper. It's all fiberglass composites. I don't know why I didn't say that the first time. I don't have to worry about much moisture management as well. This is my little dinette area. This actually folds down into a twin size bed. When I bought the camper, it actually had a bunk bed. You can still kind of see the holes from where the hydronic lift was. Hydraulic was the word we were looking for there. So we took that out, added some extra storage up here. I sanded and stained these myself. This is a quick, easy, cheap way to put some storage up here, kind of keep it open and more arid. Airy. You will hear me say the wrong word 3 times in this video. I meant airy. I was just nervous. This is a really cool piece of technology. Cruising Comfort USA. It's a 12-volt air conditioner, which is great for being in areas and in the summer with the heat. This really keeps the camper pretty cool. A nice convenient map of the US. I actually reference this more than you would think. I added this larger window as well, again to make it more arid and bright in here. That's the second time. And then this table, actually my dad manufactured a piece to extend it up. Up here is like the motherboard of all the control panel switches. It took me a while to actually learn all of these, but now that I know it, it's second nature. If you know anything about electrical wiring, they did a really neat job wiring this all up and tying everything off, labeling everything. I also have the control panel in there for Vantech Life's on-demand hot water supply and an altitude sensor. Vantech Life, actually, the whole system is my heat, my S-bar unit, and my on-demand hot water. I only mentioned that it was the hot water, but it's all one system, all tied in together. And one thing that we did add since the tour is an extra blower fan. Right below, you can see here, it's got 2 fans now just to help blow the hot air a little bit more robust into the camper. Altitude sensor for my S-bar, furnace, bunch of gadgets up there. Over here's where my little closet area is. Little makeup drawer, about a 2-foot wide closet. It's all I really need. But it's compact and it's spacious enough for me when I'm getting ready. It's not a big deal. That mirror has now fallen down and broken. I have some temporary ones up there until I get an actual one like beveled and cut to the size that I want. And then a little bit more storage up here. Again, that's where I have my blow dryer, flat iron. I do not pretend to be roughing it at all. I'm very much glamping. And I wanted to set this camper up to simulate a house as close as possible to set myself up for long-term success. And then in this cabinet, I have 4 Lion Energy 100 amp hour batteries, as well as my Victron 2000 watt inverter and my solar charger as well. I still have 4 100 amp hour Lion lithium batteries. I had one of those batteries just kind of die on me this past winter. Really fluke thing. They have rarely had that happen. Customer service with Lion Energy was amazing. Gave me a replacement battery the next day, free of charge, had a shop install it, and now it's all back to normal. So everything's tucked away in there. And this is like one of the big advantages of having the flatbed camper is all that space that you would normally lose with a sliding camper where the wheel hubs are in the bed of the truck. you gain all that space. So this allows this to be a true 4-season rig with the tanks being internal and still have a closet. And just want to clarify, that means the flatbed sits above the wheels. It sits above it. That's how that space is saved. It's also why the truck is so tall. Welcome to my bathroom. So one thing that for me was a necessity was having a shower and a toilet. I have a 5-gallon cassette toilet, which I just recently replaced that cassette toilet with the same exact toilet. Whenever I leave my camper in storage, I always make sure to leave water in the bowl so the rubber seals don't dry out. It's 3 years I've been in this camper now, and it's just kind of dried out being exposed to different elements. So when I would flush the toilet, my waste would go on top of the box instead of into the box. So I just bought a new toilet off of Amazon, and it's just plug and play, which I don't mind it at all. Some people don't love it, but I empty it every 4 to 5 days. My mom actually sewed these bags up for me for storage. She didn't make the bags. A lot of people accuse me of lying because there's tags on them. She shortened them and altered them to fit that space perfectly. So when I'm sitting on the toilet, I still have enough head clearance and can just pack those bags full of toiletries and other things. Keep extra toilet paper, Q-tips, toiletries up there. This is my bedroom. This is just a couple inches shorter than a queen size bed. And I love the height clearance in here as well. I can sit up here comfortably. Sometimes I work early mornings up here, can read books up here and not feel claustrophobic and cramped. So I really, this is one of my favorite parts about this model of the camper. I added this big window up front right here. Again, more air and more sunlight. And that's the third time. I love that I have a window on every wall of the camper. Being a female traveling by myself, if I hear a weird noise at night, I can see out every side, everywhere, every direction, and make sure everything's good to go. And in here, more storage for clothes. I have too many clothes. Still have too much clothes. Need to take some bags to Goodwill. And I also have a custom-made memory foam mattress to fit this. It's not custom-made. I bought it on Amazon. I don't know why I said that. My mattress in my previous rig was custom-made. This is just called a queen short. I think it's 60 by 80, so it's just a little bit shorter than a queen mattress, but 4 or 5 inch height and 60, 80 inches dimensions. I also have this skylight up here, which can be used as an emergency escape as well, which it just gives me peace of mind if there was ever a fire or anything happening and I couldn't get out the one door of the camper. I like having this. I can climb up on the roof. I can slide down the front window onto the hood of the truck if I need to. The bed in most campers or RVs also a lot of times used for storage. So when I'm driving, I'll throw my laptop, I'll throw bottles of wine up here just because they don't tend to fall off or move around when in transit. So one thing I did add to the space recently is I finally put a max air fan in the roof. I put it in the bed area because I was limited on roof space because my solar panels take up so much room. So I just had that installed, zero declination. The shop in Reno did a great job, and it's great because it helps the AC run more efficiently because it can suck out the hot air. I started a logistics brokerage and I ship raw materials, import, export, full truckload, LTL shipping. I started my company on the East Coast, so the majority of my customers are on the East Coast and I keep East Coast hours. I really like that out here in the mountain time zone. I start at 6 and I'm done at 2 or 3. There's some days when work is slow and I can throw my laptop in. Those days are long gone with supply chain issues and COVID issues. Still working in logistics. It's just a lot more work than it used to be. I use a Verizon Jetpack hotspot and I'm on the phone a lot for work. So if I have cell signal, I have Wi-Fi. And then I just kind of map out the coverage zones and try to avoid camping in dead zones during the week when I need to be online for work. So so since we did the tour of this rig, I did buy a WeBoost. I never installed it. It's still sitting in my back seat. I actually just sold it the other day, meeting the person this week to drop it off to them. My mindset was just I lived and traveled so long without it. Do I need it? And now with Starlink coming out, I just feel like I want to invest in a little bit newer technology. So I will be getting Starlink as soon as I can. But the WeBoost, I'm sure it does a great job. I just never got around to putting it in. The camper sits on a Ram 3500. I have a 6.4 Hemi engine. I get a lot of crap for it not being a diesel, but the 6.4 Hemi is a super reliable engine. I'm just about 13,600 pounds on the total weight, and I'm pretty adequate going up hills. It doesn't really struggle. I just want to mention, yes, that weight is over the GVWR. However, trucks and whatnot can be modified coming from the factory to handle more weight. We put a Dana rear 60 axle on the back, got large enough tires 10 ply E rated tires that have a higher load capacity rating, added a sway bar, extra leaves for suspension. So yes, the truck is over the GVWR, but everything has been modified, so it's definitely adequate. When you look at it, you can see it's not sagging at all. Also, I meant to mention the extended cab gives me a huge back seat for storage, a bunch of gear back there, which is great. A lot of people told me the one thing I forgot to do was to put a pass-through into the cab. I actually chose not to cut into the back seat of the truck. I had that in a previous rig and I never used it. I do understand that for safety concerns, it would be really great to get to the driver's seat right away. But for me, my back seat, as you'll see, is just chock full of storage, gears. I can't really get through it very easily. And then in the wintertime, it is so hard to insulate that off. I ended up on my old rig just putting Pink Panther insulation against it. So for me, it just wasn't something that was going to be worth my time. I actually didn't even show you guys inside the rear cab in the first tour because it was a disaster. It's still pretty messy, but come on, let's go take a look at it. So as you can see, my back seat is just full to the brim. This is a big Tupperware bin, like I mentioned, that I currently have all my winter stuff in. My ski boot bag is on top of that and kind of seat buckled in. You want to be mindful when you're storing stuff. If you were to get in an accident and slam on the brakes, things in the back seat could go forward, vice versa. So anything heavy, I try to strap down. Motorcycle helmet, ski helmet, stuff that I need to get rid of to go to Goodwill, extra bottles of water. On the other side, I have a box full of like food and stuff for emergencies. But yeah, it's just so full that when I have friends traveling with me, I can push it all over and make room for one person back here, but it just wouldn't be ideal crawling in and out of the camper for that. Nice little feature on the Dodge Rams is like a little hidden storage box in the floorboard, more shoes that I don't need, and another one on the other side. So this is like a storage closet for me. So in these storage bins, I have a backup my buddy propane heater, just in case my diesel furnace goes out. So the back of the truck has 2 storage compartments. This weatherproof box that came with it. So this storage box is great in terms of how it's built and it is completely weatherproof. However, it's really shallow. It's only, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 inches deep. And it's so high up that it makes it really hard to store anything up there because when I open the doors, it just falls on your face. So anything heavy is literally just a risk of it falling on you. I think I have like my desert dirt rug kind of shoved up there. Maybe, I don't even know what else is up there. It's not ideal. I don't know what else I could put in there or what I could swap it out for. Basically, it was designed to hold the high lift that's up in there. But yeah, it's just anytime you're storing things above your head, you have to be careful of heavy things falling on your face. Up here, I don't know if you can see it, up here is the compressor for the 12-volt air conditioner. So we actually upgraded to the next model of cruising comfort with 2 fans on the back. That on the back, which is actually pretty simple then for any kind of like maintenance and whatnot. It's easier to access there than inside. So out here is where my diesel tank is for my S-bar furnace. It's about a 3-gallon holding tank, which isn't much. In the dead of winter, I'm using almost a gallon a day. If I had a diesel truck, I could tap into that auxiliary line. But again, I have a gas truck, so maybe someday down the road that will change. This past winter, a shop in Golden, Colorado Adventure Vans, who actually installed my furnace, they redid the lines for me. I'll show you guys that. This panel here, we just insulated off a little bit extra to protect it a little bit from the cold. And the shop in Golden, Colorado Adventure Vans, redid my lines. It's a thicker outer diameter with the same inner diameter. I just was having some issues with the diesel kind of freezing up a little bit. But yeah, it's been working great ever since they did that. I'm very happy with it. This is the drain for my gray water. Super easy to access right there. This is just super easy. 30 amp plug-in. I've actually never had to plug this camper in, almost 2 years on the road with it. My solar panels and my battery bank are just so robust. Still true, still have not had to plug this bad boy in. Even if you find out this lifestyle isn't for you, I think you try it and you're gonna come out better on the other side. I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little tour of my tiny home. I'm happy to answer any other questions you might have. You can find me on Instagram. I'm Girl Gone Glamping. You can also find me on YouTube now. Honestly, due to the success of the first tour, you guys really just inspired me to start my own YouTube channel. So learning as I go, but you can find me on YouTube at Girl Gone Glamping. So while not much has changed on the rig, a lot really has changed for me personally since the original tour went viral. It's honestly very humbling to have over 5 million people, that's like larger than some small countries, watch this video. I was on a train in Switzerland and somebody was like, hey, you're that glamper girl from YouTube. They had seen the tour. It's just mind-blowing. And honestly, video can be so powerful. It can be so impactful. And I love what Tiny Home Tours is doing with their YouTube channel, just showcasing different builds, different ways to do it. My biggest takeaway of the success of the tour is just that I've been able to inspire a couple people to get on the road themselves or help them with their own builds. And it kind of goes both ways. You guys have made me feel rejuvenated in this lifestyle, and the positive comments and messages that I've got, people offering me their driveways all over the US to park in. I'm very grateful and thankful for that. And the success of that tour has opened a lot of other doors for me. And like I said, inspired me to start my own YouTube channel. So I just wanted to give a big thank you to all of you guys for watching. A lot of people also asked me if I took precautions with fire extinguishers and whatnot. I do. I have a fire extinguisher in the camper. I also have one in the cab of the truck. I have a carbon monoxide detector and a smoke detector. Definitely don't skim corners on any of those things. If you're running propane, diesel, whatever, your lithium batteries, anything could happen. You're better to be prepared than not. Well, thanks for watching this little review. If you want to see the original tour, you can find it in the links below. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm Girl Gone Glamping on Instagram and Girl Gone Glamping on YouTube. If you have any questions, please send me an email, direct message. I will do my best to answer them. And until next time, guys, glamp on.